Every example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip.
Again, the assumption that he's diagnosed him correctly. And it's downright creepy. Yeah, you know, they used to have a name for this in the 80s. It's called psychobabble. He is in that, or I think they call it therapy brain now. Yeah, that's what this is. Therapy brain, psychobabble. He's just in that fucking world. Everybody has seen through this. This is not like politically biased. Everybody knows what this is. Everybody knows it's probably her. Like, they're not fooling anyone at this point. It's comical, but let's give old iDubbbz a chance to plead his case.
Hello, everyone.
Imagine like you start off like an old like you just got the own. No, you didn't. It was pretty controversial.
Back to another episode of Content Deputy. Now, normally in a Content Deputy, I would dance around in my cop outfit in the woods, but this video isn't going to have any of that.
Because I'm lazy. And I'm not entertaining anymore.
And fair, we're just going to get straight into it. I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks.
Do you think he believes that? I mean, honest to God, is believe, or is he just trying to sound above it all?
I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. I think maybe, and
I mean, like, how could he possibly? Like, I really hoped the idea is to get Aisha to watch this and say, "Oh my God, you're right." I mean, does anybody in the chat actually believe that, or was it destroy him? I mean, let's be honest. This is what I grew up with, these kooky Christians. I hope you don't burn in the charred walls of the damned for all the sins you made. That's what it sounds like to me. You know, like, oh, hell's hot. That's what I hear. That's what he's saying. You know, I thought that you would do this. After I made you out to be a complete psychopath that needs help, and I omitted the biggest part of your anger, which was the fact that these guys entertained somebody, pushed his lies, saying your kids are eating shit off the ground in your fucking multi-million-dollar mansion. Okay, sure. Does he believe? He does. He sounds like a Christian kook.
Directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that, because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to.
Oh, so this was in the debate. So he shoot on. So wait a minute, this came out what, Saturday or Sunday?
It came out Saturday.
So a 24. He put this together in 24 hours.
That's what it seems like.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was watching part of the H3 versus Hassan debate, because I just watched it after the fact.
Yeah.
And then it was in, like, as I was looking for it, and then like right below in the recommended was the Content Deputy, and I was like, what the fuck?
The only reason the last Content Cop even had anybody show, or the Content Cop, Creator Class had any, it's also called CC, Creator Class had anybody was because of Ethan. He covered for you, essentially lied for you, and tried to push it. Unbelievable. And then, oh, you're attacking our charity. You know who tried that? I remember Myth tried that with me and Nick. And Harley to some extent too. Why are you attacking charity? What do you hate charity? Like they all hid behind it. I guess Ian was going to do that too. It didn't work for them. It's not going to work for you.
Be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
I just want to point out. I just want to put Nick. I got rid of the downvote thing. It's complete bullshit. Don't bother using it. Thank Joe Biden, because they probably took it out because of him.
Aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash. The second year we operated at a loss, and I take full responsibility for that.
Okay, part of that responsibility is people pointing it out when you're criticizing them, that you're not the best criticizer. You're incompetent. You're like, that's not taking full responsibility. That's that you can't just say, "Oh, you're attacking my charity that failed previously." No, it's a reasonable talking point.
We did band together. The community and the fighters involved ended up raising $175,000 for charity. It's been really disheartening to see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack.
The only people who were attacking Creator Clash was me and fucking the so-called commentary crowd. Me and Nick and just basically the commentary crowd, and we've been doing it for years because it was worthy of criticism. He just says something about this Friday after supporting Creator Clash 2, and then I can't believe I made this video on him, and he went after my charity.
Attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anissa, masters of putting on an event.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude, you're one step away from calling.
He's done that before with content nukes before. People retweet all sorts of fucking accounts. Like, what was he supposed to do? We retweet people. You got us. We be retweeting. You retweet whatever the fuck you like. What point is that? Oh, sorry. You're a Sam Hyde fan. I can't retweet your positive reinforcement. We be retweeting. This guy made a video bitching about Ethan, complaining about who they follow, and now he's like, you're retweeting Sam Hyde fans.
Just take the plunge. He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them.
Yeah, like, does anybody believe that this is off, like, this is something you put your name on, something he supported and looked foolish in the past, and this is some kind of off the table after what you did to him? Yeah, I guess so.
To blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Ela. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it. Now,
he's delusional. He's delusional. He still thinks he thinks he's talking to Levy. This is a completely different scenario. And I know I'm not going to act delusional either. I know Ethan has haters and people who support this stuff. But that's delusion. Like that's him saying like, hey, the internet's going to eat you alive. Guess you're out of luck. You are not 2016 iDubbbz's, bud. This is over as soon as you stop posting about it. And I don't know. I hate that shit with the debates. I mean, most people are. I don't know. It's tough to tell him. I said Ethan won the debate. I saw a video of Hassan saying, I think I did pretty good. He was a good son. He lost.
Now, with this recent revelation that people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash.
What's attacking Anissa? You guys are running it. You are running it. It's worthy of criticism. Content cop or no content cop. And it's all about taking responsibility. If you were that concerned about your charity, the content cop was a no-go. Until at least afterwards. You weren't concerned about charity. It's about going to your galas. This is about getting galas.
We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous two events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening.
I'm sure it's going to be run better now, though, if it hasn't been ruined.
Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We are, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event.
You cut and run when things got hot, and then you're going to pretend that the first content cop had nothing to do with it, and try to blame. I mean, think about the mind gymnastics you have to do. Like, I thought that Ethan wouldn't go after this 1 weak spot I have because I'm an incompetent organizer, and I can't believe he did that. That's terrible. So we're cutting and running. And isn't there a tweet of her bragging about cutting and running?
Oh, yeah.
I love to ask Ian things. Is it really fucking so outrageous? I don't know if it's a rug pull or not or a scam, But considering the way Creator Clash 2 came off, is it just totally outrageous to think that maybe something's up? That maybe you're involved in something a bit underhanded? And aren't those legitimate isn't the place to raise those questions the internet and Twitter? And the fact, you don't even debunk any of the allegations. You just say, whoa, me, I got these allegations. Not that you're obligated to, but I mean, really. It's too funny. What's I saw this thing with Willie Watt, this Willie Mac tweet. She was just,
I've got him.
You got it? Well, you didn't send it.
Yeah.
Send it, woman.
Well, because you told me
get
to
on it
while you're watching.
I bet I get there before
That's
you.
what I've been doing,
I
bitch.
get out there. Oh, there she goes.
I'm already there, bitch. I've got them all set up. I was doing it in time order just for you.
I wanted. Well, you got to cut ahead. You got to get on it, woman. All right, hold on a second. I think I saw it over here somewhere. It was like her laughing. Ha ha. We cut and run. Ha ha.
Yeah. Baby girl.
Oh, there it is, right here.
For any crumbs.
I was like, Ian and Easton tie themselves to a chair to sabotage and making fighters drop out. Then they drop out after the training event, screwing their business partners. And Anissa thinks she's a genius for it. Wow, you guys really showed us. Hey, baby girl. I know you're so desperate for any crumbs from me. So here's a really big piece of fuck you. We're not financially tied to the event. You imagine acting like this is a W? Even when we had it, it was structured to protect us and the charity. Wait a minute. Didn't Ethan have to do some fucking stream to raise the money for it? How was the charity protected?
Yes.
Is that the way the other one was structured? You have no power over us. You're just an asshole. Yeah, they have power over you. They got your fucking they got your fighters out. They got you to walk away. And then they got you to pretend like it was no big deal. They win. Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, I think it had to come to this eventually.
Another genius move by Yoko Ono. Yeah, that kind of I wish I could play the clip of Yoko Ono screaming at the top of her lungs during a Beatles performance. And everybody's rolling their eyes, including Chuck Berry, who was there. Look at that, Chuck Berry, Yoko Ono, and John Lennon. It's one of the funniest things you ever seen. They're trying to play Johnny Be Good or something like that. And Yoko's going, yeah! It's the funniest fucking thing you ever seen.
Wow.
It's hysterical. Hysterical. That's what she's doing.
They cut her mic.
Yeah, Yoko Ono is not a very good artist, and she's not a very good influencer. She sucks at this. She's married, and like Yoko Ono, she married the big guy.
I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't. I mean, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank. I want to be honest. I was very quiet during the second Creator Clash because I was afraid of how that would impact other people. This year, I said I'm going to do something different. I'm going to.
You quietly. You whine like a bitch.
To fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, like, I can't really have my...
Wait a minute, he said fight back in the past tense, right? And he uses this as an example. Had Ian said anything about Creator Threat prior to this? And the clips that he showed were just from Friday. My point is, like, I'm not going to sit back, I'm going to fight back, I promise myself. And then he shows, as he's saying that, this particular thing comes on here. As if the first content cop, his timeline is wild. He did this Froggy Fresh as well. As if this was him fighting back against all the rotten things he said about Creator Clash, forgetting this is what caused him to say rotten things about Creator Clash. He did this to Froggy. Am I off here?
No,
he never promoted Creator Clash 3. I don't think he said anything.
Well, I was going to say that the day that we've talked about this before, but the day he put out the content cop on H3 was the day there was supposed to be promotional material on the official Creator Clash YouTube channel for CC3.
All right, yeah, that's because I'm looking at this little clip right here. This is the clip he used. He attacked my charity. He literally was 24 hours.
Yeah.
I think Nick's right. These guys forgot how to make a good video, or just maybe doesn't care what the truth is and never did.
One's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, like, I can't really have my cake and eat it too.
Oh,
it's
really?
Either...
You didn't? This is why...
Took him this long.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. You know, it really...
Jesus Christ, that took you this long to figure out? Everybody thought this guy was smart.
Can't be both. I'm very proud of the event that we made with Creator Clash. It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not going to be involved in it. Please, for the love of God, support this event. You know, I feel like in some ways I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape the bear trap, and so I can fight. Well, that's a bad analogy. You guys get it. We've already told all the fighters, and it seems like most people understand that this is the best move. If the previous content cop was
I gotta read it. Another huge day for unemployed people. This is the era of YouTube is basically dementia retirement home, please. As an empath, I can feel that your H3 has some underlying tension going on. You don't think he'll discover shame at 40? Oh, now he's getting murdered! Joji really knew the perfect time to fold his cards and leave. I'm sure the Palestinians were extremely invested in this. Oh, he's getting it more so than the first one. Sir, they hit the second tower. Act like an adult. Does Fortnite L dance. Like, yeah, delusion.
Entertaining to you, or this video is entertaining, or you like the message.
By the way, I didn't fix any of these comments. I literally just scrolled down and it's the top comments. So I didn't fix it. Just to make sure. Like, my God, man.
The best thing that you can do for me is to support Creator Clash. Buy a ticket, buy a pay-per-view ticket, an in-person ticket.
No, I'm just gonna follow Harley's League and not support it.
Or donate to the fundraiser. I just want to see this event do well. You know,
why would he even think it would do well at this point?
I didn't try this shit because I thought I was going to be a good boxer. I didn't think I would be an awesome...
Yeah, you thought you would move up socially. I know.
Event organizer. And, you know, now I'm finally back to where I started, which is making fucking content cop videos. I don't want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted, because I'm like, I spent my last fucking 4 years working on this stupid boxing shit. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely, but like, it's crazy that I've just returned to content cop. Having said all that, Creator Clash ticket link down in the description. Go check it out, buy tickets, support the charity, support the fighters, and have a good-ass time. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing because I think I am meant to roll around in shit. I think me and Ethan are both meant to be rolling around in pig shit all day long, and other people are meant to do boxing or debating or whatever else. Ethan and me, pig shit rolling around type of fellas.
You underestimate my...
I think he has... I can't see this as being anything other than a boost to Ethan's career.
Strength! I've got kosher strength! The will of Allah! I mean Yahweh! Yahweh!
The good old days, I guess, right?
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community. And I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary.
That makes sense.
It doesn't. Yeah, he did call him a bad boss. None of the people who work for him really say that, except the one, I guess, the one cleaning lady that's suing him. A tyrant. Anybody can quit at any time. No harassment filter. That's mind blowing. Like, well, look, I'm going to go by. Like, I don't think any of this is harassment. All right, I don't think criticism is a lot of these guys. I think Ethan's in this camp too. You have to. They think there's a way to craft your words where people won't say mean things on the internet. I don't know. And at the same time, with the harassment thing, is like, I don't think the internet's going to take it this way, Ethan, but that's on you. And he's a bitch-made coward. And the guy uploaded a thing of him crying at the end. And I got something Destiny pointed out. And I don't think I would have done this either. He fucking attacked. He took this head on immediately. He was ready to go. As soon as he heard it, and his own people were trying to talk him out of it. Really? Harassment filter for a bunch of people that are pushing terrorism? Really? Good. I'm glad they're getting harassed.
Of personal insults.
And that's another thing. Lefties do this all the time. They give criticism criminal names, like harassment. Harassment is a crime.
labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew
people you supported.
bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after.
Actually, he's not calling you anti-Semite. He's actually calling you a concentration camp guard. He's willing to go along with anything at any price.
Israelis have no right to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian? Yeah, he just discovered empathy, by the way, and only extends to the point where you're actually talking about Jewish people.
It only extends to the point when there's a bigger creator to get in bed with.
Israelis, then empathy stops and they should all be murdered. Bro's actually out there like Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest fucking kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew. I heard there's a Jewish.
That's not what Timothy McVeigh did.
They want all.
And you know what this thing is too? He's using, these are clearly jokes and over the top hyperbole. He's using this as he's saying this is another thing the lefties do. They pretend hyperbole is literal.
You guys to quit and for me to just be like alone, little Jew boy alone.
Like Ethan under a year ago was saying he doesn't use anti-Semitism in that way. He's not a guy to call anything and everything anti-Semitic.
You know, in my whole life, I've never screamed foul on anti-Semitism.
He did. That is bullshit. He did do that. Did he did that with Keemstar, correct? Did he pull that? Yeah, he did pull that. He did pull that stunt on Keemstar. I will say this. It was the first time I saw him do it, though. He had this record a long time ago. He didn't pull the Jew card all the time. Yeah, but he does pull it plenty now. There's definitely some truth in that.
I literally have been getting this shit since the second I stepped foot on the internet, and I have never fucking ever done this.
With Keem, he did.
Okay, so the people online, they're saying, "Oh, Ethan's making himself a victim."
Yeah, he did. He did it with Leafy as well. I don't think he did it with Leafy. I don't think I'd be willing to bet on it. I don't think he did. I think he did with Keem, the content new.
Or Ethan's making everything about anti-Semitism. I've done this.
He may have done it in 2020 when Leafy made some fucking wild comments about Jews, but not during the first Leafy thing. Yeah, he may have done it, eventually done it, but that would have been around content nuke time.
Once in my life.
He did call for his ban. That's not what the question is, Wade. The Wade is, did he pull the anti-Semitic card? You can call for a ban without pulling the anti-Semitic card. Stay with me, buddy.
Right now.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I mean, I get that
He has categories. He's joking about you sucking up to fucking anti-Semites, which that's what it looks like to me, too.
he's scared and offended, but this was the whole fucking point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place.
Oh.
You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was horrendous.
See, he doesn't think... You do take a certain amount of responsibility. I mean, you're pumping these people up. They're putting their... Like, you're... Okay, buddy. Every one of these people... Just about every one of these people legitimized the CPS harassment stuff by, I remember, like, Denims is the one that really sold it. What was her exact words? Every time I'm going to think I'm going to learn something worse about Ethan, or I can't learn anything worse, he does something else. That was about Bad Empanada.
And it was horrendous for us. And now you're doing it again.
I'm going to watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But, like, why?
I just don't think... I feel like you're going to get really emotional and say something you regret.
Well, I've got the button.
Like, I know you don't have a problem taking it head on, but I just feel
Of course
like
not. Because I know that
you're understandably upset, and I feel like it might be...
I think he won. Somebody want to call in and tell me why Ethan didn't win? I mean, I'll throw it out there, like, I got a right-wing bias. I got an Israel bias. I'll throw it all out there. That's what I believe. Those are my beliefs. Tell me he got triggered by he got triggered by a CPS call. It was horrendous for us. Yeah.
A little.
Should we wait to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
You should do it off stream. Because I don't know. This escalated initially because we were live and you guys were heated about. I forget what it was.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need to fucking pre-watch this. I don't need someone else to hold my hand through it. Like, I'm ready to take on anything that these people have to say about me. He's like, no, actually,
He ended up doing the next day, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He did. He watched about 10 minutes.
Pretty fucking. Yeah, let's do it tomorrow. It's pretty ballsy. I wouldn't do that. Probably not. I'll fucking prepare. I'd definitely prepare. Like all your heroes won't do this shit.
Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck.
And then is it considered that I'm hearing Hassan got pretty much toasted? I don't.
This Jew bag Zion.
But see, I don't know if everybody's just telling me what I want to fucking hear. You know what I mean? Not too many people do that. I mean,
what I can say is I personally have only watched about 50 minutes of the Hassan versus Ethan debate, and from what I saw, Hassan was getting kind of steamrolled by
okay.
By
well, not
Ethan.
that it's hard. He's not that bright.
Well, no, that's the thing. But
I mean, we come from a guy that used Sam Cedar. There was such a coward that used Sam Cedar to do his politics for him. The guy that watched the video and went right at him. Hassan sucked. Yeah, what type of thing? What type of team like Ethan didn't really win, but Hassan lost because he's such a fucking nut, you know. Oh, okay. It wasn't a total sweep, but I think Ethan hit harder. Well, you're a Jew. You of course you would say that. I don't know.
Be killer, guys. I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews.
A-Tree did get him a spurg. I did see that.
Too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things
what is he saying? Cope.
that honestly are scary.
I just said I've vented about them.
Everything's the next level. All right. Scary.
Not defending me. What the fuck is he like? He's actually losing his shit and I just can't believe it, dude.
Did you call him up?
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are
the problem with this though. He's fucking right. You were sucking that fucking that terrorist dick. Yeah, I actually was one that said he was way out of line to put you guys in this position, but his suspicions were correct. So fuck you.
Are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something
spineless.
Hey.
Our POV is like fuck everybody.
See, you know what also I noticed about this? Ian thinks the rest of the planet sees his sort of cuckery, for lack of a better word, as identifiable. Most people think when CPS get called or your friends hang out with fucking Jew haters, they see that and like, well, yeah, I get where Ethan's coming from. Here's what iDubbbz wants you to take from this. Look at all the mean things they're saying. I got news for you. The internet is the wrong place to get sympathy for that. And that's what he's doing.
And I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, right. He wants you to be like, I'm the thoughtful kid piece. I mean, get the fuck out of here. What a phony.
No, I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that.
Oh my God. What a bitch.
Now, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to him reacting.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is iDubbbz. It's like a joke. Is this AI? When I constructed this things, I did it with your feelings. Well, get the fuck you.
Acting in my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that? Well, this is the white savior, Ian.
And you know what? I really don't, normally I would say that was going over the top, but these people, I mean, look who you were in bed with. These are Jew-hating maniacs that he's standing in front of. I'm sorry. If they were fucking from the Ku Klux Klan, I'd feel the same way. He's taking responsibility, I know.
Who's just found empathy, unless you're Jewish, of course.
Ethan, people are allowed to shave their head and not be called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're gonna critique,
Was he joking? Because I always thought the sword thing was kind of a joke. I think he's taking hyperbole and jokes literally and trying to make himself a victim from those jokes.
critique his podcast
I
or
think
be pissed off that
What?
I was gonna say I think the shaved head thing is more than likely a joke, but it like in the debate with Hassan and Ethan was harping on that whole swastika sword.
Was
So
he?
I don't know if
I do think the
Yeah, I don't
swastika
know if
sword
it-
is kind of is a lame point, but I do think it's sort of lame, but yeah, whatever. God, I want to ask you guys, why would you have a liberal for a friend? They're so lame and not fun. They're just the phoniest people on earth. These people that get involved in this. Admittedly, I don't have anybody come up to me. Wasn't there some dating show in the States where they dropped the guy because he didn't have any strong feelings about BLM? I saw Bill Maher talking about it. And it's like she's dating, like they have this stupid show on HBO, and she's dating guys, and she goes to her girlfriend's like, I talked to him about Bill Maher, Black Lives Matter, and I talked to him about the way, and he didn't seem to have an opinion on it. That's very disappointing.
Okay, buddy.
Oh,
This guy's like
yeah,
a beautiful
there was-
guy.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, and something
but-
happened. I forget what it was. I mean, like, to me, that guy, she's beautiful too. One, like, it's a lifetime of misery you just walked away from. He only cares about his fantasy football. I mean, you are dating a man,
he personally insulted you. Even that is enough to be called anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy. Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I don't want to
To get liberal tail, I guess. All right, yeah, I guess if you'd want that, and get accused of rape.
talk about Hassan's sword hilt because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like?
Lefties get all the girls of the part fights, but not the far right.
You
Not far
actually
right,
don't
though.
need to interact with real people.
Yeah,
ever.
exactly. Kenny needs to come visit.
STS donated $5.
No, they're no fun.
And Anisa
Not because I'm afraid of accusing, just because they're absolutely no fun. I'd literally rather have 3 drunks at the bar down the street over here than them.
Like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No,
Yeah,
that's no. I don't actually think that. The chances that they did on purpose is close to 0, right? So I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hassan's room that was laying around. That could be the end of the discussion. You don't actually
No, it could also be funny that you picked up the one that has a swastika on it too. Hey, that's right, you forgot what was funny.
need to debate Hassan about the sword hilt.
He lifted
the
it up.
decision making.
If it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
But I'm not going to delete the photo because that would be indulging in your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that Denims could have crash out moments. I think we're all capable of it, but he was using it in the video to suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
To my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really...
You were, absolutely, clearly. You were so, what do they call it, patronizing of him, and like, get help. You need help. We all need help. That to me is fucking creepy. Absolutely, he was right to equate it that, because that was dead on, Jack.
really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial weird crash out. People can have crash.
I guess the parasocial. He seems more normal to me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He seems 10 times more normal to me than this.
Out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help.
But he must be really in it.
Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people are
We'll take my example. Your example was, and it was patronizing horse shit. Like, hey, come back to the light. We know you're sick. And I mean, Jesus Christ, the fucking Soviets used to do that shit to their own people. You're ill now. You need help.
Trying to affect
That's
you.
what it sounds like.
It's understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan.
Oh, you're not a doctor, fuckface. You can't even hold your shit together. crying over the fucking internet to a therapist and posting it. Unbelievable. You know that's supposed to be private anyway, you dipshit.
I'll go through this.
To characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic on a level I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing.
Every fucking example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip.
Again, the assumption that he's diagnosed him correctly. The fact that you were diagnosing him is the fucking mental health part that you're using the mental health against him. And it's downright creepy. Yeah, you know, they used to have a name for this in the 80s. It's called psychobabble. He is in that, or I think they call it therapy brain now. Yeah, that's what this is. Therapy brain, psychobabble. He's just in that fucking world.
Of me saying, if you get help, we all need
the arrogance is insane, Benjamin.
Help. Everyone on this planet needs help. I don't care how you get it. You can wander into the jungle.
Oh. Now everybody needs help. So I'm not specifically targeting you because everybody needs help. Yeah, that's what therapists say to you. You know, it's a fucking business. And plenty of people, especially in Germany. Germans don't go when they need it. Don't need a therapist and function just fine.
Jungle and go on an ayahuasca trip. I don't care how you get your help or what you define as help.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like what you define as, yeah, this is doublespeak.
But if
weasel words,
if it helps you, that would be good. Because
maybe he's just fucking fine with the way he's talking about you.
Now it doesn't seem like you're getting much help. The main criticism that I was seeing online with my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So like
without even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me and I didn't have any chance to defend myself? You just immediately, in the same...
How is that an excuse? How is that an excuse? In fact, that's more of a reason you need to put it in. I understand the CPS call just fucking happened, right? But I understand why you're upset. But to leave it out completely, you're making them seem unhinged. This is why you're cutting out the CPS call by saying this is why they need help. Boy, this is
podcast.
It's almost confusing.
Right next to each other said CPS call was very traumatic, and then you said fuck Ian and Anissa, and you linked those together. You kind of layered those flavors. And
what does that got to do with you making an honest video? I don't know.
Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these fucking comments on your Reddit?
He didn't say it. You had nothing. He said you put him out of context. He said you showed these angry clips of them, and you're leaving out the reason they were angry. You lying sack of shit.
Saying like it.
Oh my god! I mean, I feel like I'm doing like some dope commentator with like, you know, the 10,000 subs, some dumb fucking kid. Who was that stupid kid I made fun of a couple years ago that went to me for help? I forget his name. Like that guy we did last week. What was his name?
Oh, we briefly covered the thing we briefly covered the Parlo whatever the fuck. What's his name?
Grimsy, he's one of them. Yeah, but Grimsy's a kid, so it's an excuse. Grimsy was the kid, but I mean, there was the other guy we covered last week.
Parlo.
Did Willie?
It was Parlo.
Apollo? Well, Apollo's that guy's completely insane.
Parlo.
No, I'm talking about the one we did the Willie video on. When he did with the yeah, that's what this seems like. It is a video without any self-awareness, any awareness of what's going on. It's just, it's a video made from tunnel vision.
And because of the CPS call, I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused because number one, it's a fucking cult. And number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone's watching your dumbass, their brain is also going to get scrambled.
Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. So again, he's not showing.
So he completely missed Ethan, wow. The reason I didn't bring up the CPS call was because it was a part of the video, even though it was integral to show why he was angry in the first place. But then again, you take the angry parts, leave out the CPS throw, and tell this guy he needs help. Like, who's going to think that's honest?
In the context, what was the
He actually believes Mama Max. Yeah, he's a perfect Mama Max victim, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll play this part. Did you guys ever find the context of what I was talking about here? Because I feel like I wasn't even talking about him. I could be wrong. I just don't remember ever saying like. If I did say that,
I thought you were talking about them, about Anissa and Ian and
Ledge poachers. That's the guy. Yeah.
the clip.
That's the same clip of
It's all the
I couldn't remember the name.
CPS was called.
Yeah.
Same clip.
It's part of the same conversation.
You completely wiped your brain of what happened during the CPS stream. That's not my fucking fault. That's no one else's fault.
It's your responsibility to sit there and frame the narrative as it is, not as you want it to be. Who the fuck are you kidding? He's pissed off. You're running with the people that are putting Bad Empanada on a fucking pedestal. They're supposedly your friends. He figures, you know what? I think that guy's a fake. Turns out he's right. When you make your video on him, you leave that part out and say, look how angry, crazy these people are. What a dishonest cunt. Whoa. Whoa.
But yours.
And his whole thing is, you can't say mean things to me while I'm saying mean things to you because my mean things have the best of intentions and I care about you. Fuck you! Are you joking?
All I wanted for you to do was say the bare minimum of like, hey, this is fucked up. This is not true about CPS, whatever. Like the bare minimum. It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them
And
out.
his guess was you were a terrorist cocksucker, and he was absolutely right. He would have looked really I said this to Nick yesterday, and I probably said it on here before. Here's the thing. Ethan and Healing come out, and they're like, you're rubbing noses, you're following people we don't like, blah, blah, and they're guessing that you're sucking them off. All he has to do is flip this open and say, look, Ethan, I really don't appreciate you saying these things. It's not true. We always and always will support you. But you have put me in a really uncomfortable position. That position I could talk to you about offline, but we have friends in other places, and I don't want to get involved. I'm really sorry this happened to you. We absolutely support you. But because you decided to go and post something first and go to the public first, we feel like we have to reply to you in public. Talk to you all offline. Bang. 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 You're done. You don't need the content cop. You don't need to fucking lose Creator Crash 3. Nothing. Bang. You're done. And then Ian's right. That's all he had to do. I still believe that putting Ian and Anissa in that position was 100% out of line. The reason they did it is because they thought they were sucking terrorists' balls. They were. They bought it totally. They're in with the terrorist crowd. They are in with anti-Semites. I'm not talking to people that criticize freaking Israel for whatever reasonable reason. That's not them.
This is what I was talking about. You cannot have something terrible happen, be like, yes, let's make some content, and then shit talk your friends of 8 years.
I'm so fired up, I don't even know what to do with myself, which is why I'm coming. On the other hand, I don't know if that's a good state to be in life.
That's the kind of spitting.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan was talking shit about us on his Instagram before any CPS shit. He was also talking shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th...
I don't see how that's relevant. I really do. So he said something mean. It's called CPS happens. Hold on a second. Let's go over his time. Let's give iDubbbz a break here. All right. Ethan begins to publicly attack the editor's statement. That's not exactly attack.
Us on his
attack on the editor and then bitching about you following.
Podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th...
Wait a minute. So the CPL's iDubbbz shits, Ethan shits on iDubbbz. Wait a minute. This proves him wrong. This is when he starts talking about the editor. The CPS call happens. Then he starts talking shit.
Yep.
So he talked about the editor? And you had to put your face in there. Doesn't like your thing? CPS call happens? And then he goes after you? And then it turns out what he went after was 100% correct. You're like, yeah, I hate Jews too.
Yeah,
Like
no.
this doesn't help
even
you.
then, Ian's timeline, or sorry, Ian's timeline is wrong.
Even then, you took the stuff where they were angry and acted like they were angry for no reason. So the timeline isn't even that relevant. You took this stuff, you said, look how crazy they are, they're angry, and left the context of the anger out. That's 100% true. The timeline is
talking shit
irrelevant.
about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits Ethan and Hila, and that same day, they decide, let's do our podcast, and let's have the topic be the CPS visit and how distraught we are about that.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. The call happens. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back here. Hold on a second. The call happens, but they don't get
about
the
us
visit.
on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits Ethan and Hila, and that same day,
I do have the timeline's still wrong. I've got a video. I don't know if I sent it to you. Let me double check. But I think Papa got worked through the. Yeah, he did.
Fired over.
Find it real quick.
Yeah, because I don't follow this like those guys do. Like, I don't want to sit there and say iDubbbz's wrong when he isn't. I don't know how much it fucking matters. And it's also so gay. It's just so beneath iDubbbz. Oh, you said it first. You know, but I mean, that's YouTube drama. That's what we're doing. Tommy's working for the ADL.
Here, it's the most recent thing I've sent you now. So.
Let's see.
7th, CPS visits Ethan and Hila, and that same day, they decide, let's do our podcast, and let's have the topic be the CPS visit. Right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa, but you don't just talk about it.
But like what you just showed us was that like there was like 2 days that you guys had to say something publicly. They're not a continuous harassment campaign. Your editor is like harassing them. Then the call to CPS happens. I'm assuming this is when we found out about it. What? Then Ian shits on iDubbbz. There's something off here. I have to. Okay,
yeah,
all right, hold on.
Same thing.
They give it 5,000 to find. The problem is that he isn't acknowledging that Ethan was getting called a bad parent before the call itself had happened. Yeah, that's true. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. Wait. The CPS getting.
I feel so much better now that I'm not a moron. He literally had this. He did the exact same thing I did. I feel so much better now.
Called was not the start of the event. He's trying to lie and reframe the situation as if, well, how do we know the CPS just got called? How are we supposed to know all that? Because this was an ongoing thing. Denims was talking about, Ethan was talking about this for how long before this episode? What are you talking about? Like, it started with them putting in this weird lie that he abuses his children, basically, and they roll around in shit. That was your friend who was doing it, or your wife's friend who was doing it. And then it carried over into CPS actually getting called. Who fucking cares when CPS got called? Oh my God, this guy's a loser.
There you go.
They decide, let's do our podcast, and let's have the topic.
Maybe I'd love to see it just continue to spiral and then make a video on all the people like Papa Gut and Nick Diorio. Let's see how he does there.
Be the CPS visit and how distraught we are about that. And then right next to that, right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about us. You shit talk us, and you imply that we're friends with people who...
I still, let's say he didn't do the time wrong. He still framed their anger as coming out of nowhere in that Content Cop radio. Which is completely dishonest.
Who are the ones who are harassing you.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say that?
Random anonymous
Did I say that?
Wait, what's the...
I said they're primarily responsible for harassing me.
Who called CPS?
What the fuck? So, I don't know.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Hila's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Hila. And I do mean that literally. There was this H3 stream where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking...
You're dumping? You're crying online! Like this guy does everything he accuses Ethan of. Maybe Ethan does do it. I don't know.
About his own health. He was talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
His child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
The whole family possibly having giardia.
Oh,
And now Ela has giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying to...
Because I'm not trying to get it.
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
Talking about the viscosity of his child's shit.
And meanwhile, he is covered in viscous, low viscosity diarrhea.
He mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas.
Kids get diarrhea all the time. I've had 2 of them. And it sucks. And it gets all over there. And it comes out of the diaper. If anybody called CPS based on fucking this, that would be utterly insane. Yeah, he's justifying the CPS call. Oh, here's why CPS was really called. Because Denims legitimized it. And by the way, no, Ian doesn't have children. He never will.
It's like in the middle of the night. All the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands.
Kids gets it.
You actually don't need to interact with real people ever.
Yeah, dumping online. We know that Anissa...
Papa Furry donated $5.
Pube Fairy.
Dumping online? We know that Anissa shaves only for offshoots and refers to do it for Ian biggest of his podcast. Who is he to talk about dumping?
Yeah, I don't know there, Pube Fairy. But thanks for donating on where I actually get the money and Google doesn't take it.
Streamlabs.
Thank you for the Streamlabs. I'm sorry, I should mention that. Yeah.
As best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas. And then extremely foul-smelling diarrheas.
So, of course, Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years, other people react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about his children...
Yeah, an insane anti-Semite, an insane, crazy anti-Semite that is trying to shut down any like... I don't even want to go into fucking Ban Imp and I look it up fucking yourself. But an insane that twists that into his kids run around eating shit off the floor. So you are legitimizing the whole fucking thing. And you know what? They were right to think you were in their insane camp.
Getting giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's...
Why would I be reasonably concerned about a bunch of kids getting diarrhea at once? Really?
Seeing that content...
I would, in fact, I gotta be perfectly honest with you. I've never heard of giardia before until this whole thing happened. I have heard about entire families getting like a tinge of diarrhea or some bacteria and it spreads around. I mean, I didn't have 2 babies at once or 2, like my kids are 10 years apart. But also, by the way, they didn't actually have giardia, really.
Might be concerned enough to call CPS,
well, you're fucking insane.
Including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about diarrhea, viscosity of diarrhea, his child having giardia, him and his whole family having giardia. They're calling it the poop house. Now, what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is...
Again, from the therapist guy, which him telling about people dumping and oversharing is unbelievable. I mean, this is the guy sitting to process his fight shit. Go, get the fuck out of here. Your whole gala was about processing your shit and your fucking feelings, and you're criticizing this guy. It's just, it's funny.
That he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was...
Denims put the guy on fucking a pedestal.
The source of the CPS call. Because...
Hey, Denims, is this actually helping you? Let me know. Anybody would love to have a content cop in their support, in their ring.
Reacting to Ethan and saying, wow, this is concerning.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the
with
fuck
kettle.
am I meant to do? I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you, because in your video defending yourself, you used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
No, it's
selected.
this, I think when you full screen it, no, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full chat. It's just enlarged
Oh,
there,
really?
over the screen, yeah.
They're different.
It's real. I'm sorry, Ian. It's not really impossible to think a bunch of people that are extremists who have extremist followers would do something like this.
Right, I think.
Yeah,
It's not timed. It's not timed the same way.
And why are you defending Denims? So you don't have to bring up Ben Empanada?
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit, and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this
Why would it be bullshit? It's a completely reasonable thing to think.
very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denim's chat. But
I mean, this is really weak. I mean, the only thing I think he got him on is when did I blame H3 Snark? And then he puts the fucking video. I mean, then he puts the picture of the thumbnail, which says H3 Snark called CPS on us. Even that could be coughed up to. That's like the biggest own he has. That could be, I'm forgetting the title. You know, I mean,
that's not what it is.
it's like the
And then
biggest
when it's
own
called
in this
out,
whole video. Like we're like, this video's got a little more than 10 minutes, and that's it. That's all
on
it's
it,
got.
he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other
Reading the
illnesses,
chat, co-signing
it's very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now pay
So I would
attention
assume
to
he doesn't
her
actually
chat.
have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like...
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denims herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone...
She platformed the guy and said, "Oh my God, I believe you're learning more bad stuff about Ethan every day. The damage is done, fuckface." You do have brain damage.
Calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to...
You platformed it. Take me by you platformed it and said, "Oh my God, that's so crazy." That's fucking giving it the stamp of approval. Who are you kidding? I don't condone it, but I'm watching this completely crazed, insane person. He's trying to pull Hassan here. I just love the research this guy does, even though he's constantly lying.
Find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple...
And I'll tell you something, too, with all these fucking lefties. Whenever one of them gets fucking called or somebody swats them, it is the end of the goddamn world. And whoever has been attacking them past, whether they called CPS or not, whether they called the swatting in or not, gets the fucking blame. I guess Ethan doesn't get that. He doesn't get the same sort of love. You put your stamp on this. They can blame you for this. Absolutely. Could it have been somebody in Ethan's own camp? Maybe. But you still put Ben Empanada on the pedestal. Take responsibility for that. I'm not even saying you can't. Just take responsibility for it.
Multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now.
And at the time, when you were watching that video, Denims, one of the dumbest women on the internet, you were like, "Oh my God, oh look, that's putting your stamp." There was nothing, because saying, "Oh my God, I've learned so much," is putting your stamp of approval on it. It's not being critical of the content, you know.
For not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you're that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very...
The therapist. It's a problem.
Very open about everything. It's part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience. I
will say this. In the old days, we had Howard Stern, and he was open about everything, even the way he took a dump, right? It was depersonalizing. You cannot do that on the internet. You can't. I mean, I couldn't even... let's say I wanted to do I pull a lot from Stern, and I treat you like Robin sometimes, but there's only so far I could go with it.
Yeah.
without losing shit.
Yeah.
Or just completely being discredited. You know. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't fucking know. Maybe it's bad. Like, I think it's a bad thing because it's always restrictive, you know, especially if me and you are consenting adults and we're openly joking around like this about each other. But I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
but yeah, you can't do it, Ethan, unfortunately.
To be open.
But I mean, the guy, I'm sorry, I'm not taking that from the guy that puts the therapist on, that you dump too much. The guy that needed a gala after a fight. Most people need a beer.
And as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly a benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
He's probably right about that.
Ethan was just sharing his thoughts. What we were thinking, we were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around.
Speculation was correct.
Around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
We were speculating.
Oh,
And now Hila has giardia.
Shut.
Be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how
really?
many because you're afraid that it will
Yeah,
somehow
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it.
On top of Ethan characterizing me...
Didn't Bill apologize for that? Or go back
No,
on?
I'm
Oh, you
not
left
really
that part out, huh? Hmm.
And my
He's
wife...
not exactly the most loved person on the internet these days either.
As anti-Semitic, he also takes a dig at...
And you know, I gotta be honest, I hate that. I hate the fact that you can't talk honestly anymore. I think it sucks. Because I'm used to seeing like I got 3 kids, blah blah blah. And Bill could have said, look, I'm not comfortable with that. And I'm not just snapping at him like a fucking raving Irish American lunatic.
My tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a...
Oh, is he really going to say that's too low to talk about your Tate tattoos? Nick says that Anissa looks like a skateboard. That's one of the funniest things I heard this weekend.
From a windy thing, bro. Like, literally, my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Bro looks like he just went
Am
to
I supposed to feel bad for Ian? Tell me when to feel bad, Jeannie.
the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
Or is this designed? Is this designed to make me feel bad, or is this designed like you're a hypocrite? You say mean things.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with because that means that they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect.
Is that his tattoo? His wife? Is that what I'm looking at?
That's what I think it is.
It still looks better than the fucking the goddamn. It looks like a pair of like Vans or something. Like, yeah. Ian's tattoos are shit. I always thought tattoos are stupid. I'm sorry, tattoo. I know I'm getting a lot of heat because I have a feeling a lot of people in my audience have tattoos. I always thought they were dumb. That looks like something. Your looks like an ink blot, but whatever. Yeah, this is dumb.
Particularly the decision-making aspect.
This is the gayest segment of 2025. I can't believe this is what makes me want to fucking get offline.
Want to go tattoo for tattoo, Ethan? We can do that. You want to keep it to other things? We can. I'll give you that option. Ethan also talks
You didn't win. Let's go, tattoos. All right, he wins.
about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Oh,
Ethan,
God.
your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face.
Oh my God! This guy was calling him crazy, taking him out of context, leaving important context out. Thank you, Pete Davidson. Thanks for taking my tattoos look golden. And he's gonna bitch about like you take too many punches to the head punchy? Unbelievable.
Too many times because you don't understand the situation.
What a
Some people are
bitch.
saying the CTE is starting to take effect.
No wonder you lost both your fights.
Yes, that would be comforting if there was some explanation at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
What if we do both do them? We'll both do 25 at once.
25 each? Or
Oh my goodness.
Great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Also, why are you talking about CTE?
Is that supposed to be cringe to me? I mean, it's cringe, I suppose, but it's not like mind blowing.
at all. Like you've
he's totally on. Is it possible for? Yeah, I guess he peaked. He peaked. This is like old timers day for YouTubers, you know. Like I remember when I was a kid, because Gordie Howe was still skating, you know, and there he is out there with his big silver hair. I'm like, God, man, he was used to be the greatest player on earth. There he is, old Gordie Howe. You were the joke master. What was that? It wasn't that funny. I mean, it's cringe, I guess. Did you think? Are you that out of touch with your audience? Are you that out of touch with your audience to think that people would look at that and be like, "Whoa, yeah, you shouldn't be talking."
Continually illustrated that you can't keep track of anything.
It came up
neither can I,
because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
He can't even keep straight who attacked who first. He thinks that our podcast where we're expressing sympathy for him and Hila was the impetus for him talking shit about us. I much prefer boxing and do CT.
If I was hanging around a bunch of fucking Klansmen, if people want to blow me off, they have every right to. You're hanging out with the left wing equivalent.
CTE than harassment-induced CTE. Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me like one time like, hey dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude,
Now we're a part of it. This just sucks. Like these like the worst rooms ever. It just sucks. It's not entertaining. Like I feel really because I don't want to come off as like it's dishonest, right? And ignore the good shit that Ian got, you know. But it really just isn't there.
Dude,
No,
honestly, I don't
zone out. I'm trying my hardest to stay zoned
I mean,
in.
I really, it's almost at this point. Why don't you just lie? Why don't you just say he fucking beats his wife? Because at least that would be like, whoa.
I feel like having this conversation right now.
I mean, zoom in, like just lie, you know?
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment,
and then
or like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone. You wouldn't have shit-talked me. You would be curious
your closeness,
where my
gay boy.
brain was at and where I was coming from. There's this moment in the Content Cop where I'm trying to give an example of the cycle of harassment. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of... Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Ethan and Hila act like they have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, maybe they don't.
Do you know what he's talking about? I'm a little confused, but Verse, we might need Verse on this one. I don't fucking care.
It's a very
I'm generally bored right now.
obvious and easy to digest point. That's why I made it that way. I'm going to explain it here so everyone on the internet understands.
Thank you.
When you have a podcast where you are constantly emotionally dumping and saying things just off the top of your head and you're attacking other people randomly, maybe from your perspective it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion, he's somewhat repulsive to look at.
Yes, don't iDubbbz's is it. Don't do radio. I mean, I could say like, hey, don't do this style of content if you're not willing to take shit. Like, I guess, which is legitimate, but I mean, like, Ian thinks this is a world where you can make videos or do live streams and not get shit or harassment. Like, how is he gonna do these? Like, I'm absolutely sure that Ian is a big Howard Stern fan. I've always known that, you know. And he's doing something similar, but the problem is he courted the gayest audience on earth with those woke jackasses. Now he's only got woke jackasses that are supportive of Israel.
And be
pedophile. Pirate software was like weird about it. It's like, look at my old...
I mean, he's like he's telling the shock jock not to say anything outrageous.
voice. It's so lame. What an obnoxious loser. She goes, I can't believe these people are so obnoxious.
Listen to all this harassment, guys.
And he looks like a...
And just remember, iDubbbz cannot figure out for the life of, because he's moved away from that part of his life. Why you don't find this outrageous?
Idiot who's obsessed with me, dude.
But what happens when other people comment on your situation? It doesn't feel too good, does it?
But he's like...
He swung back and won! He swung back and won! This thing did nothing but boost his profile. You had to take your name off a damn charity. He did nothing but won. He won bigger with this than he did with the Hassan nuke. There's all sorts of problems with that thing. He snapped back and won, and then you know what this is? You know what Content Deputy is? Content Deputy was the equivalent to Leafy's response to iDubbbz and his fucking video. Just a complete snore.
No, actually, Ethan, the fucking...
Remember that? When Leafy made the response to the Leafy content cop, and he got mollywopped.
Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
That is the back and forth I'm describing. You might have thought we were just saying that Ian and Anissa are bad friends. Well, guess what? We didn't take it that way.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any...
Don't vent on your fucking shock jock show. Like, whoever heard of that?
Excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What we took it as is Ethan and Neil are shit-talking us. They just implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment, and now all of their fans are
definitely
brigading us.
okay with
So I am going to...
You have defended the people that platformed the guy that was saying the lies were going on. You're definitely okay with it.
Respond in kind and make a content cop. So
Okay.
yes, that is what the cycle...
Which opens up a whole other can of worms because it completely negates all the other stuff about empathy you had in the past, which you never had.
harassment looks like.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
You might think that all of the harassment you're getting has everything to do with your politics.
Is that what he thinks? Is that what he's going to bed thinking? I mean, I don't know. Ian's kind of seems like kind of a pussy to me. Ethan seems like a bit of a pussy to me. But is that what he's doing? Like, he thinks he's like, Ethan's like going to bed at night and saying, wow, man, I really shouldn't do this anymore. Because, you know, iDubbbz might make another video. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if he's streamed since, but I would be super happy. He's going to get like 30,000 to 40,000 people when he streams this next. It's going to be off the meat hook. And it's not difficult to... It's just that this part right here is going to be hard to get through. This is boring.
And your idea of Israel-Palestine, but a lot of my gripes were centered around you dragging me into your shit. You know, you knew that you were going through a lot.
I swear to God, it would have been a lot more effective if you just picked up your fucking phone, made a quick video and said, that's not right, Ethan, to go public about me. You don't know how you're pulling me into, you're dragging me into. It's just not fair. I've always been a friend to you. Click, you win. Ethan looks like the bad guy. Palestine wins. But you didn't do that.
And you were saying, I'm hurting, I'm now going to make them hurt because they're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me, they're not Anissa, it's not Hassan.
What are you looking for now?
I'll find it myself. Just remember what you just
Okay,
said.
because I have sent you quite a bit of stuff already. So.
Yeah? Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
If you scroll up.
Oh, no, it's not what I wanted.
It's the 8 thing.
It's not what I wanted. Hold on. Was it Nick that posted it?
Okay.
It's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. This is my favorite video of all time that I lost. I need this video again. I'm glad I'm doing this now because yes, it's the greatest. I lost this. I misplaced this in my hard drive. Yeah, this one. So let's do it like this. Let's do it one more time. Here we go.
They're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me, they're not Anissa.
Is experimenting on 10 children to obtain a cure for thousands of kids' lives.
I know this is really unfair, but I still think it's funny.
Justified. That's a really hard question.
Oh, fuck! What happened? Jeannie did that.
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you
I don't
did.
have control of your
You did
computer.
that. You
You're
did
doing it yourself.
You ruined my whole thing. Oh God, women.
Good.
What happened?
Good.
How did I fuck this up?
I don't know. I just watched
Jeannie
that.
did
It was great.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was Jeannie.
You're almost there. Come on.
There we go.
Experimenting on
There
10
you go.
children to obtain a cure for thousands of kids' lives. Justified. That's a really hard question. And I think if people are being 100% honest, they'd give you a different answer than what you're expecting. As terrible as the Holocaust was, obviously it was horrendous, and how disgusting.
Please get me this video on it. Like, I can't download this because it's a response to Anissa Joma, but I need this video. I love this video.
Doctor was that did the experiments on people. I was gay people, handicaps, twins.
And thank God we did that because all these medical breakthroughs.
I think that's and obviously there.
You know what that shows? This isn't. By the way, this idea that there was all these medical breakthroughs through the Holocaust. You know, it's an old anti-Semitic urban legend. Like, because I heard this in the 80s when I was little. Like, really? But then keep in mind how old I was in the 80s. Right? You're in college. So you're just repeating the we only use 10% of our brains. You know, that fucking urban legend. You know, and you're supposed to be the educated one. And by the way, this is spread by anti-Semites. Like, well, some good came out of it. Now, I'm absolutely sure you're just stupid, but it also proves you could be manipulated by anti-Semites.
It's not Hassan. It's not all of these other creators that you're attacking. You're not the biggest victim
Why does he keep something like? It's not Hassan. Get the fuck out of here.
on the internet, Ethan. Other people can experience a horrible fucking time. And guess
Do you think he watched the Hassan video and he's like, wow, Ethan really took a beating. I'm going to double up on it. No.
Guess what? They're not getting this other benefit, which is 26,000 viewers. You're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this. You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what
He just leaves off the table what he needs to leave off, all the horrible things. Look, a lot of the stuff to the military community, Frogan's a target, and that's her own doing.
even you send her way.
The shit he said and posted about Frogan over the past years is
very
like
mean.
insanely nasty shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen. If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Hold on. It's not worse than anything you've seen. How can it be worse than anything you've seen?
Literally, no. I guess
He was
not.
very nasty. Well, I'm just saying, people like fucking want to like get lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking about
and
specifically
castrate-
against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly, which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
That's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
Also, on top of Ethan and Neela constantly
Did he just play a clip that kind of helps Ethan's case? Am I crazy?
victimizing themselves.
That's
I did
what I
notice.
would think.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
It is worth being called a baby killer. I remember, this goes back to the gayness. It's a giant no you. Like, somebody wrote this, it's a giant no you. You know, and somebody's like, yeah, you see the new video? It's a no you. No you.
That as soon as we didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, Ethan took that to heart and he started to make that his employees' problems. Instead of just, sucking up.
Are any of his employees fucking bitching? I think all his employees seem pretty sympathetic.
anything, yeah.
Why is he using the employees? I don't get that.
Up and taking on himself, he decided to imply that Lena is going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for the crew. The way that they have it set up is basically, if Lena were to drop out, she would lose like.
I don't think that's correct. I don't think that. Was this what he was wearing when he found out? Or this before the
Sure, I
content
can double
cop?
check really quick.
Hold on. What was it? Yeah, find the one when he finds out. Hold on. This is before the content cop. This is interesting, though. Hold on. Maybe he's got something here.
Going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for the crew. The way that they have it set up is basically if Lena were to drop out, she would lose she would have to pay back like $25,000 or something like insane. And besides that, which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out, she's been working really hard. And just because I'm having an issue with what's going on here.
You bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight was you publicly showing to your fans, like, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the content cop even came out.
If this is before the content cop, he's got a reasonable point here. iDubbbz. Not kidding.
I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I was totally on
you do the same tactic.
board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psychopath for harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan.
I think this is a reasonable point that
Here,
iDubbbz made.
I've got him for you. So
Yeah.
this here, I'll just.
I thought he said that when he found
send-
out, but I don't think that anymore.
So here's the link, and this is what he looked like when he was wearing it. If you just go to like
Yeah, no, go right
2606.
Actually losing his shit and make.
Well, nope, it's different clothes. So,
And then I can show you. I think the one that he's got.
No, it's before the content cop. Then, wait a minute. No, it's different clothing. Same hat, different clothing. Same Freddy Fresh hat. No, he's right. I think this is a totally reasonable point that he's making, because it does. I don't know if he's doing it. Like, you got to kind of get in Ethan's head. Was he doing this on purpose? Maybe he kind of wanted him to drop out. But, you know, when you make the content cop, it just, if there was any other, it finishes the job. Maybe he didn't want her doing that, you know. And I mean, I know Harley, I know from personally talking to Harley, it had everything to do with who he was. And that's the thing he keeps leading out. Like, it's about who you associated with. That's really what it is. Now, I don't know what Lena's thing is. I don't even know what Lena looks like. I don't care. But I think, in fairness to Ian here, he might have made a decent point, the only one that's really has any, like, it doesn't even have much traction, saying, like, by saying stuff like this, you are putting pressure on her to quit or drop out. I think that's fair.
I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
He's right about that.
I was totally on board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psychopath for harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan and Hila will victimize themselves every chance they get. But when they have the chance to victimize someone else who's on their crew, they'll also do that.
Well, but see, and then this is the thing. He makes a good point, and he shoos it into victimization. Ugh.
You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on.
I think what he's talking about is the content cop too, because the content, to act like the content cop has no impact on Lena is ridiculous. She works for the guy. Now, you made a good point saying he was putting on pressure on her prior to that. But to act like, but one thing had nothing to do with it, it was all you abusing your employees. That's a ridiculous point.
On her.
And she was 100% getting booed. Yes. Anybody with H3 was getting booed.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me.
Wait a minute. Didn't he call her husband and say, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you guys were live?
Yeah,
why? That's weird. I think
I did say I had technical issues. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, you said the whole time the job was the technical issues.
Like that, yeah.
And now you're saying this?
Such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me on your podcast. That was a choice that you made.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
Oh, the organizers of this event are not jumping to my defense?
Yeah, that's another thing, Numbkeys. Yeah, they knew they were alive. Who are you kidding? So like he makes a decent point, but then he packages it in something that is complete. Oh come on! He packages it in oh come on! Give me a break.
Right. Well, maybe instead of shit talking them, maybe I should zip it.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. You already forced Lena into this horrible situation, and again, you forced this situation on her. By the way, Ida.
But I'll be back and say you're being irresponsible on your podcast.
It's like the worst commentary video I've ever seen. It's so unentertaining. It's got nothing, no juice, no nothing.
And you're not taking any accountability.
I wish there were more memes in here or something. It's like, and I hate when they shoehorn memes in the commentary. It's a way like you're not actually funny, so you put SpongeBob on the screen. You know, but this is worse than that.
For the shit you're putting out online. I think that's going to do it for this video. There's a lot more that I can share, but I'll save that for the future. And in closing...
Oh, you know what? They're going to keep going at it. Okay.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, we'll
H3's live right now covering the content deputy.
Who is he? H3's on now?
Yeah.
How many's
Do you wanna
got?
tune in for it?
How many's it got? I'm sure it's going to kill.
So that, you know, there's no ambiguity about it. Anissa and I are no longer involved in Creator Clash. We're
64K.
You ran away. Let's take some of your fucking stuff. They'll take calls and end it because I want to play. I want to play Days.
And he's got 64K right now. So.
I said 60. I said 40. Holy shit.